Who is the greatest of all time? Who is the GOAT of NBA? Who is the number one basketball player in the world? Is it Michael Jordan or is it LeBron James? Or can you argue it's Kareem Abdul-jabber? And you can add others to the list like Kobe Bryant, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, and the list goes on. Let's get to it right here, right now, and let's take the myths and the legends out of here, and let's get truly to the stats of the game and see who comes out on top. Let's get to it right here at Barry Charles News. Remember to like and subscribe. Let's get to it. Well, first of all, let's have a look at the most points in the game. Well, the most points in the game and the longevity of his game time, LeBron James is the king at 40,179 points. So the biggest in NBA history. Second off is Abdul-jabber, second at 38,000. Then we got Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan in the top 5. So the elite of the elite. And you can add the likes of Chamberlain, Bryant, and Shaq to the top 10. There's an illustrious company right there. But when we go to the playoffs, again LeBron James reigns supreme because he's been to the finals quite a lot of times. But that's over 282 games. When you look at Michael Jordan's record over 179 games, and remember he left at his prime, folks. He left. He could have continued to play and be a star player and would have won a few more premierships, but he left, broke up the team, and he had 5,987. But if you calculate that, he'd probably be at about 9,000 points if he had continued to play, or even a bit more. So that's where how good Michael Jordan was. And then adding up to the top 5, you've got Kareem, again, he's in there, Abdul-jabber, Bryant's in there as well, and the Shaq Master. So the top elite players are there. And then you've got Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant, Karl Malone, Jerry West. So it's a very, very strong team. And you can add Stephen Curry will probably jump up their list over time in terms of the most points in the playoffs. Regular season rebounds. Yes, well, Wilt Chamberlain. Back in the day, as obviously the rebounds were the thing back in the day, Wilt Chamberlain absolutely destroyed. He had 23,924, with Bill Russell next off at 21,000. And you go miles back to the rest of the field. Daylight to Kareem Abdul-jabber at over 17,000. With Alvin Hayes and Mossy Malone making the top 5. And again, you got the likes of Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Kevin Garnett, Dwight Howard in the top 10. So again, basketball royalty there. So if you're going so far, we're listening, folks. We've got LeBron James there, and probably Kareem Abdul-jabber is definitely pushing up there. Michael Jordan's dropped down a bit. But there is different things to look at it in terms of stats. But let's continue. How about we go to the playoffs? Who was the number one in the rebounders of the playoffs? Well, Bill Russell was the man. He was the one that stepped up for the Boston Celtics with 4,104. With Wilt Chamberlain, his teammate for most of it, at 3,900. So very good. And then you got the likes of Tim Duncan, LeBron James, and Shaq in the top 5. With Kareem Abdul-jabber and Malone into the top 10. So all the talent rises to the top 10. With Larry Bird and Dennis Rodman not far behind them. How about field goal percentage? Well, this is with the big guns we're talking about here. Shaq is the king at 58%. Yes, 58%. Shooting range, not field goals, shooting range. So very good from the 2-point mark. Kareem Abdul-jabber, 55.9%. Wilt Chamberlain, not too far away. Then Karl Malone, LeBron James, to Tim Duncan down the list. But when it came to playoffs, Shaq was the man. Yes, Shaq was the man. Then Kareem Abdul-jabber was right up there as well. Tim Duncan, Wilt Chamberlain. Then going down a bit to LeBron James, Jordan, and Bill Russell is down the list. But here is where it gets interesting. The most NBA titles, folks. The most NBA titles. Yes, Bill Russell is all alone at 11 titles, and I believe will never be broken. Absolutely, at the time, the best of the best stayed there, and Bill Russell was the king. And only 13 seasons, folks. 13 seasons, he won 11. And one time they lost the grand final. Unbelievable. So, crazy. Sam Jones, 10. And there were a whole host at 8 and 7 from the Boston Celtics. With Robert Horney being the next one out, who played for 3 different clubs together. So he's the highest for playing for more than one club. But in the middle modern era, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen with 6, with Kareem Abdul-jabber. So some gun players in, and he dropped down to 4 for LeBron James. But we came here to talk about the 2 guns themselves, MJ and LeBron. Who was the best? Well, let's have a look at some of the stats. If we're looking per game, average, Jordan wins with 30 in the point range, by 30 points a game to 27 of LeBron. We go to rebounds, LeBron wins with 7.5 to 6.2 average a game. The assists, we go to James as well, 7.4 to 5.3. But Jordan wins the steals, 2.3 to 1.5. Pretty even in terms of blocks. James wins 3.5 to 2.7 in turnovers. And shooting range, James is slightly better than Michael Jordan. And also in the 3-point range as well. But free throws, if you want someone to save your life, Michael Jordan was the man at 83%. Compared to LeBron James, 73.5%. Yes, well, if we looked at the postseason here, Jordan reigned supreme in terms of points, 33.4 to 28.5. So that's where LeBron James has let himself down. He still cleans out the rebounds, the assists, the steal, pretty much every other one on here, apart from the free throw line, with 82.8% of Jordan compared to 7.4. So LeBron has a lot of that. And for all the games he's played, it's quite outstanding. But here we go. Drum roll, please. When everybody says, when it's said and done, who's won the championships? Jordan won 6. LeBron's won 4. And he has played more seasons. Michael Jordan, 5 MVPs compared to 4 of LeBron. And LeBron has played more seasons, so he should be above him. Finals MVP, 6 times Jordan. Only 4 for LeBron James. And he's played more. All-Stars, well, LeBron's played more games and he's got 20 to 14. So that shows you how good Michael Jordan was. But this is the one. Scoring the most points in the season. Michael Jordan's done it 10 times, baby. 10 times. And only once has LeBron James done this. So, well, I think it's pretty obvious who is the best in the game. Michael Jordan was the king of winning the finals. You can argue Bill Russell's had the most titles. He got it done, but it was in a different era where most of the good players all played in the same team. You could argue that it sort of happened a little bit with the Bulls at the time, but that was over a shorter period, and Michael Jordan didn't stay. That was the problem. Michael Jordan left to try baseball. If he had not done that, I think Jordan would have probably had 8, 9 titles. And I would have classified that as that. But that's the only ilk on Jordan's record. If he continued to play another 5 years at the Bulls with the players they had there, if they could have kept them all together, instead of it's time to get rid of the coach, potentially something could have had a different career here. But that's the way it happened. And Jordan, to me, is still the number 1, the GOAT in basketball history. Anyway, that's Barry Charles News for another video. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with many more videos. Have a great day out there.